Hello, I'm Ishani and I welcome you to my channel where today I'm sharing my secret to beautiful cards. Also with these cards, I'm participating in Altenew's Color Therapy blog hop. I have 3 creative yet simple ideas to inspire you to take out your pencil colors. For my project today, I'm using these gorgeous Altenew Woodless coloring pencils. These are 32 colors in this box. And this booklet gives you a peek into how you can combine these colors. It's a lovely guide to get you started with these pencil colors. All these colors also coordinate with the Altenew inks. These are easily blendable, and though these colors are not in that beautiful order that they came in, my son loves to arrange everything in rainbow order, but I have not given him or taken his help yet because I think these colors are a little fragile. I love the white in this pack. It helps you get your highlights right, and you can also blend with it if you want. Here is a disclaimer. I'm very new to coloring with pencils and I'm using them only to enhance my card making skills. So I hope if you're a newbie, you're inspired, and if a professional, please excuse me. I may not know the terms well, may not be doing it right. But in the end, every day you learn something new, and what we want is to make something that makes us happy, right? I'm sharing 3 cards today where I'll be using pencil colors in different ways. Let's go ahead and start with the first card. For the first card, I'm going to focus only on coloring with woodless coloring pencils. I'm using Altenew's Magnolia for You stamp set, a classic set, and I'm sure almost all of us have it. For the paper, I'm using this paper by Staedtler for pencil coloring. You can use any paper which has a little tooth on it. I've had this pad for a long time when I got my polychromos, and now I take them out only when I specifically want to do pencil coloring because I find that this paper is good for layering with pencil colors. For my next projects, I am not using this paper, but I would still be using woodless coloring pencils. So to demonstrate to you that you can work with all that you already have. I use a stamping platform, and on the Staedtler paper, I stamp my magnolias and the buds with the Altenew's permanent black ink. I must admit that coloring did intimidate me for the longest time, but I realized that I have to stop comparing myself with the work of the artists that I admire. They are at that skill after a lot of practice, and that's what I need as well. So for coloring these magnolias, I googled some images of the flowers, and magnolias have these pencil lines. They're also called guide lines, quite similar to veins in the leaf. And a little trivia to add that these lines are there to direct insects towards the nectaries hidden in the base of the flowers. So these lines run from the tip of the petal to the bottom of the petal. For the coloring for my dark, mid and light tones, I'll be using Cosmic Berry, Ruby Red, Midnight Violet, Rubellite, and I may use crimson and white. Let me show you how I'll use these colors. First, starting with Cosmic Berry for the depths that can be enhanced with Ruby Red, and then coming to the mid-tones as we get lighter, it'll be Midnight Violet and then Rubellite. I'll also be using Peach Perfect. If you check the magnolia flowers, you will see this peachy sheen on those flowers. I am trying to achieve that. The last color at the bottom was Crimson, which is almost similar to my other dark tones. The thing that I have as a takeaway to always remember is to not put much pressure initially with your pencils so that you can put a lot of layers of colors. I keep in mind the pencil lines of magnolia flowers. Remember them, the guidelines, and then to keep highlights and depths so that they can be seen. I have sped up the coloring process of this flower and will color the rest to save on time, but I really like the way the flowers came out with these lovely pencils. If you're new to my channel, I would love if you'd subscribe and check out my other videos as well. Also, you can follow me on Instagram and my blog. They are linked in the description box below. Also, I have a link to the awesome giveaway by Altenew for the Color Therapy blog hop that ends on 4th March. For the centers of the flower, I'm using maple yellow and fresh lemon and a little depth with autumn blaze. And for the greens, I'm using Shadow Creek, Limeade and Moss. And I will also add fresh lemon to the little greens. I hope you like the coloring. For sharpening my pencils, I have been using this Staedtler double hole sharpener. And I love that I can just get the point with the second hole, especially for these kind of woodless pencils, as these lead to less shavings. For the stems, I am using paper bag and yellow ochre. And then after I am done coloring all my flowers and buds, I am going to fussy cut them out for the layout of my card. For the card panel, I want to keep it clean and simple and just give my flowers the focus. So I cut out a white cardstock from the deckled edge frame from my most used and favorite dies by Altenew mix and match frames, and I've taken a pink top folding card base. For the branch, I've taken a branch stamp from the Winter Cardinal set by Altenew, and I'm going to stamp it on my paper with two inks, Caramel Toffee and Paper Bag. I make the underside of the branches darker by using paper bag at the bottom edge. Later I will also add some more details with pencil colors which I missed to record. For the sentiment, I am using the beautiful font Sentiment made with lots of love from Rose Tea stamp set. But I just wanted to use lots of love, so I did a little stamp surgery and cut out the made with. And I stamped lots of love with black ink. And I adhere my white panel with foam tape on the pink card base, and with glue I adhere all my flowers. And here is my first floral card for all those who are waiting for spring. Maybe it's the best time to get your magnolias out too. I hope you like the card. Let's make it easier now, and especially for those who are new to coloring. For the next card, I'm using a set where I have coordinating stencils along. This is the Craft Your Life kit by Altenew, Hello Beautiful, and I'm using this bud for my card. I'm going to stamp my flower with the blue ink. I'm using Eastern Sky, which is not a very dark ink but also not the lightest. I ink only the flowers, and where the leaves have got the ink, I clean it up and then stamp my flowers. For the leaves, I'm using Sweet Leaf Green ink, which is again a lighter ink. The paper that I'm using here is Nina Solar White 80 pound, and because I think it is good for stenciling and it also has a little tooth, so it will work for the kind of light coloring that I plan to do for this card. After stamping my flower, I get my stencil for these flowers, and I'm going to use the lightest blue ink from the Lapis Lazuli set of 4 inks for the petals, and the darker color will be for the other 2 petals, which was the Eastern Sky with which we had stamped the flower. The leaf will also be colored with the same light green ink. So now you'll think, when all she has to do was just stencil, where is she going to use the pencil colors? But this card is for all the beginners, and if there is anyone who's like me, lazy, they can also do this. So we do just what makes the difference. Get our dark tones with colored pencil and have the highlights with the light ink blending. After the stenciling is done, I take the darker shades of blue to only increase the depths and take guidance of the stamped blue lines of the flowers and the leaves. For the blue flowers, I have used colors in Starlight, Teal and Tide Blue. And for the center of the flowers, I use Fresh Lemon and Orange Cream. And For the leaves, I'll be using Shadow Creek and Limeade. The list of supplies and the colors used are written in my blog, and the link is given in the description box below. I would really be very grateful if you would use my affiliate links if in case you want to buy any of these products. After the coloring is done, I die cut the flower, and to assemble the card I used the embossing folder that was part of the Craft Your Life kit, and I embossed the blue cardstock with it. To just give a little pop to the embossing, I apply sticky Versamark ink on the front side of the embossing folder, which has the wells. I have some great ideas with embossing folders on my YouTube channel. If you're looking for some ideas, please do not forget to check this video of mine on my channel. When you run the Versamark inked embossing folder through a die cutting machine, you'll see how you get the ink transferred to the colored cardstock and then get some extra texture and the darker panel with the lighter flowers. I adhere this blue panel on top folding white card base and then adhere my colored flowers with glue. The sentiment is from the same stamp set, and I add a little bling with these gorgeous Crafty Meraki gold opal gems. I have a tutorial with the same Craft Your Life project kit. If you haven't watched the video, I would love you to check it out. And here you have another card with therapeutic coloring time. Don't you think the little coloring made a great difference? It just makes the flower pop. And even it looks like no line coloring to me. Let me know if you like this idea in the comments below. Now let's go ahead and do a quick coloring card again. For the last card, I'm going to use Breezy Bouquet stamp set by Altenew, and this time I'm going to use Altenew Artist watercolors too. I want to use this paper wrap to wrap my flowers, but I don't have dies with the set, so let's see how it goes. I'm using watercolor paper for this panel and I'm stamping with waterproof black ink. Then I go ahead and I do some light and quick watercoloring on my bouquet. And please don't judge. I don't want to make a masterpiece, and the variation that you see is missing right now will be brought in by our beautiful pencil colors. For the paper wrap, I love flowers in brown paper because I anyways never leave my flowers without taking them out and putting them in my own vase, and brown paper is better than other kind of material the florists use. So I stamp the wrap on a brown paper and fussy cut it. And then I add some details of folds etc. with some brown pencils. Now let's get ahead and do some more coloring on the flower with rubellite and with ruby red. I give depth to my roses, and I also use white to blend the colors. I have some small flowers. To give them more interest, I'm using teal, and for all the leaves, I'll be using moss, greenfield and mangrove root. I add details to the leaves. I think coloring like this is easier and can make your coloring look better without breaking extra sweat. For the card panel, on a white folding card base, I'm adhering the frame from the same mix and match frame dies for a tone on tone, yet some texture to the background. Then I get my bouquet and my paper and I adhere them with glue. To add interest, I take a pink twine and add the little tag along with it by adhering it. And here is a clean and simple floral bouquet with some quick coloring. This card will be perfect for mothers and your girlfriends and anybody who admires flowers. I hope you enjoyed the video. I would love to know which card or which idea would you like to try for your next card. Check out my other technique-rich videos on my channel. Thank you so much for watching and stopping by. Happy crafting! Bye-bye!